Yes, people, welcome to another edition of From a Third Eye View on Pi Radio, hosted by myself, Flawless Mr. Tate Note. I'm also joined by my two co-hosts, JV and Stro. And yo, this is the 1 year anniversary and that.
Hey,
turn up. 1 year
Woo.
anniversary and that. We've been here in the building a year.
Yaga.
Big up Solomon. Big up Sparks.
Big S.
The whole Pi Radio hierarchy. I can't believe they let us on here running our mouth for a whole year. They also extended the show as well. We started 7 to 8. Then after lockdown, was it either after lockdown or during lockdown, the first one? And he was like, you just want an extra hour? He was like, yeah. And we've also gone to DAB. And look at how they've even changed the room as well. Like, more professional.
You get me?
And I also have to salute all the supporters. So whether you're a new supporter
salute, man.
or you've been supporting from day dot, we appreciate it. Like I said, not everywhere you can get two Manchester United fans and a Liverpool fan to discuss everything Premier League.
Nowhere else can you get this.
Nowhere else in such a non-biased manner. Like Stroll's not heavily Liverpool. Like he'll critique Liverpool. He was very critical of them in the transfer window. Same way everyone knows about me and JV being extremely critical of of Manchester United and Ollie and what's gone wrong. So yeah, 1 year anniversary. So I just want to say salute to everybody who's listening in. So whether you're listening via traditional radio means, or you listening on YouTube, we really appreciate it. And Sparks also put in a group chat as well saying on the online service, the online station, Pi Radio was the most listened to station. So we appreciate it.
Come on.
Get me done.
Pi Radio continues to grow.
What are you talking about? You can hate, but you gotta rate the progress, my people. You gotta rate the progress. Whether you don't like me, whether you don't like Flawless, or whether you don't like Stro, you gotta rate us, my guy, because we're doing our thing. But yeah, shout out to everyone who's watching, who's supported, everyone who messages us, everyone who listens in. Get me. Yeah, man. Shout out everyone.
Yeah, we appreciate it fully. We really, really do. Jaden here says, big up guys. Man like Mo says, Ollie has lost the plot. At least Poch would have went for it. He also says, big up Flawless and the man then. Big up to you. Omar Mali says, yes lads, we really appreciate it. And if you are watching this on YouTube right now and you're watching live, please make sure, that you hit you hit the like button and you hit the share button and share it across all your socials and subscribe to the Pi Radio YouTube as well. It's very important that you do that and show support for the station. You know what I'm saying? What do you say? Didn't know Flawless got the extremely poor man's making the Niles. What?
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. I was just reading that a second ago.
I thought you were talking about internet connection, but never mind. Stefan says, another great show. Appreciate it. Man like Mo says, after lockdown finishes, get me on the show. Where you from, man like Mo? Just asking out of interest. That's all. I've seen you pop up. But yeah. Nathan says, Ollie couldn't even coach man at goals in Deansgate. But yeah, we're going to get to that. All right. So where do we start? Since it's the 1 year anniversary, I suppose we have to start with the hot topic, which is, it seems it's a hot topic every week. Every time Manchester United, it becomes a hot topic. Ollie in versus Ollie out. Is Ollie at the end of the road? Blah, blah, blah. So, all right, Strom, you start. You give us, as the non-Manchester United fan in the room, you give us your thoughts on the game and also your thoughts on Ollie and if he should be sacked, if you believe so.
I thought defensively Arsenal were brilliant, which is something you don't say when you go away to a top 6 team. And listen, regardless of United's position in the league table at the minute, United are a top 6 team. They proved that last season of a top 4 team. They should be a top 2 team. And this is where the issue with Ollie and my issue with Ollie lies. Is obviously, I know you touched upon it on United Central. Big up Saeed, Aaron always, shout out all the man them. But that game for me is exactly, and it exposed the flaws that Solskjaer's got. Now, I've been critical of him for his in-game management at the Sevilla game. I was critical of him for yesterday's game. After 5 minutes, you could tell McTominay in that diamond wasn't working and he needed moving. Just move him. You move Pogba out to the right, move Fred to the left because he's left-footed, and you just put McTominay in the DM position. Doesn't do that. Lets it carry on. That's fine. You've then got the chance to rectify it again at half-time. Still nothing. His substitution didn't make any sense. It's why would you move Pogba onto the left of the forward three when you need to get a goal to get yourself, or to even try and get yourself back into the game. Nothing. But yeah, like obviously, as bad as Ollie did, I thought Arteta's game plan was absolutely spot on. He knew that he was going to get a chance. He knew that he was going to nick a goal, and it was a case of can he. You know what? You know what's mad? It's the first time I've seen Arsenal go away to a top 6 team and be aggressive like that. Never seen them that aggressive before.
Aggressive. Just want to shout out Big S in the building. He's here taking pictures, and I'm sure he knows this. But it's our year anniversary as well. So salute to you, Sol. Salute to Sol. Let's go. But nah, yeah.
But yeah.
So getting them prime shots in, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready for it.
But obviously, they were very aggressive off the ball, and you could see that Gabriel straight away. Rashford touched straight in at him. Partey, exactly the same thing. And we said this about when they got Partey. There's a midfielder Arsenal haven't had in the past 15 years. True. That kind of a midfielder, right? So it gives them that kind of a platform where Gabriel might not be the best defensively. He's still yet to be judged. He made himself look amazing yesterday, but he could go on and play West Ham at some point or a team like that, and he could get exposed. But Partey just gives them that extra little license and the defensive stability. I thought they were excellent yesterday, but as good as Arsenal were, United were awful. Yes. And what I mean by that is they didn't start, no tempo,
Thanks.
No real passion, no fight. I've never seen that from a Manchester United team. And for me, I'm not a United fan, that worried me. Because and I've said this on God knows how many times, I've watched Manchester United as a kid in Manchester, as a Liverpool fan, absolutely dominate everything. Premier Leagues, there or thereabouts, if not winning it, back to back. FA Cups, Cup Finals, Champions League, always in and about it. League Cup, there. Charity Shield, there every year. And it was just like, would you just slow down? As a Liverpool fan, it would drive me mad because we were nowhere. We weren't even in the conversation because of how badly run we were. We were getting ex-legends in to manage. Graham Souness, who never ever should have been managing a club the size of Liverpool. And then you flip it, Manchester United have just followed our blueprint. And it makes no sense to me. And it's like, I hold United to the highest esteem. Manchester United are the biggest club in the world. Biggest club in the world. You need to start acting like the biggest club in the world. And that starts with a manager. You have to get a manager that represents what Manchester United are. Have you lost your identity over the past 7-8 years since Fergie went? Absolutely. But you cannot move away from the fact United are the biggest club in the world, and you have to have the best players and the best manager. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not the best manager. He's not even the best manager in the Championship. What we're talking about, he wouldn't be. And that's not me throwing shots. He wouldn't be.
Yeah, that's you genuinely believing that. Like, you're not trying to be...
Leeds United have got a better manager than Manchester United, and they've just come up from the Championship. Can you explain that one to me? It makes zero sense. Everton have.
You think you go...
Arsenal don't.
But
I honestly believe that.
But it doesn't... It drives me mad in... Listen, there was a result to be had there yesterday for you guys. Because apart from the penalty, Arsenal didn't look like they were going to score. As well as set up they were, they didn't look like they were going to score at any point. Name a save that De Gea had to make.
Serious? The only 2 chances they created was the Aubameyang one that went round the post, and Willian hit the crossbar. That was it.
So this is the point. You look at that game, and like I said, as good as Arsenal were, United were terrible. If United switched the system in the first 20 minutes, realised that wasn't working, you can pin them back. You've seen it for 10, 15 minutes in the second half when you started to get a grip of the game a bit. At that point, it's too late because the substitutions were terrible. Absolutely made no sense.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get a foothold on the game because you couldn't then capitalise on the foundation that you'd built in them 10, 15 minutes because the substitutions didn't make any sense.
No sense.
The team structure didn't make any sense. And it's like, you're keeping McTominay on. Why have you kept McTominay on?
Yeah, having 2 holding midfielders on when you're chasing the game is ridiculous. So if you have one, you're like, I kind of understand, but you have to throw the kitchen sink at it.
I'll put it to you like this.
Go on.
Having 2 holding midfielders on when you're playing against a 3-4-3 makes no sense because there's no number 10.
Exactly.
That's a valid point still.
There's no number 10.
A valid point.
You're playing a 4-3-3. You're getting done in 2 areas of the pitch, yeah? The wide, yeah?
Yeah.
You don't do anything about it. You don't do a thing. Like, literally, like, he's slow, but you know what my thing with him now is? Well, I'll get the wording right on this.
It's alright.
I want to believe that I want to believe that he thinks he can succeed in the Premier League, but I don't. I think he favours the Champions League because
Go on.
I'll shout out to Saeed. It's a bit like a Moments FC thing for him. You know what I mean?
I love that. That's
Moments
really,
FC.
that's
When
really
he's in the
awesome.
Champions League, that's what it is. It's Moments FC. I can do a night in Paris. You get what I'm saying?
Nah, I hear you.
I can do a Leipzig at Old Trafford. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I do a win against Arsenal yesterday, it doesn't buy me more time. That's where I think he is now. I think he's buying time. And I think that's why he's tending to win the games we don't expect him to. Now he's winning the games we don't expect him to win.
And I think that adds into as well. Also, if everyone watching right now on YouTube, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That's more so on just the inconsistency. I don't even think Ollie's looking at it like, all right, let me favour the Champions League. I don't think he's skilled enough. I don't think he's that good of a manager to rest a certain player and be like, all right, we've got this coming up, so I'm going to do this here and think long term and think 2 weeks ahead, 3 weeks ahead, a month ahead, 6-7 games, like, all right, I might need this player. I'm going to set up here. I think he's literally doing it on a game-by-game basis. In the run-up, there's no long-term plan here because the only thing consistent about Manchester United is that inconsistency.
You know what
That's
it is, though? For me as well, where he goes, where he
We'll get
went,
to the comments as well, people. Don't
where he
worry
went so wrong yesterday, and I said this before on Saeed's show. When he's playing, he's played the same formation that we played against Leipzig, but he's changed the personnel, which then changes the whole thing.
Yes.
Because yesterday, if you didn't really know that was a diamond on the telly, then it didn't look like a diamond when we were playing. It just looked like we had bare man in centre mid.
Was that the McTominay thing that
Yeah.
obviously Stroll was talking about?
You get what I'm saying?
I hear
But that comes down to coaching. That comes down to properly coaching. When you're in this position, in the diamond, you do this. You don't go into that area, you do this. Defensively, you go back into this position. Offensively, to turn them over a bit, to create a bit of space for the likes of Pogba, Bruno, Greenwood, Rashford. Make sure you make these runs. Whenever the ball comes into McTominay in this position, I need you here. That's coaching. Where was that? Because McTominay was just stood next to Fred like he was playing a double pivot.
Yeah, like it was a 4-2-3-1, yeah.
And that makes no sense. So it's either you stick with it. You either go with a double pivot, which, as Ville's brilliantly said, there's no number 10. So who are they both marking? Or you actually become a manager.
That's a great point. I didn't even realise that. I was so mad after yesterday's going Stroll.
Or you actually do what you pay to do, which is be a manager. And at times, as a manager, you have got to make horrible and tough decisions. You hook someone instantly after 30 minutes if it's not working. You then change the system because it's not about making him happy, making you happy, making him happy. It's about making sure you get the results. I've heard Aaron say it several times, especially in the group chat before. It's a results business.
Yes.
At the moment, Solskjaer's not getting the results.
Facts.
And I'll tell you this, Solskjaer was very, very fortunate on the day that Hughes got beat 6-1, which is a game which a manager should be getting sacked by. The league champions went and got beat 7-2. Because that took all the shine off that defeat.
Yeah.
Because if you look at that defeat, the players didn't look like they wanted to play for him. That looked like the end of the road for me. And it looks, and I was watching the game yesterday, it's exactly the same thing. And then obviously you see Roy Keane on Sky Sports and you see him like, you can see the players who just don't look interested, but he didn't have the heart to say this is the reason why, because obviously it's Ollie. But I'll tell you the reason why. They are sick to death of him. Pogba, when he goes away to France, is managed by an unbelievable manager, right?
Okay, go on.
So it's no wonder they're getting the best out of him.
Like I said, you made a great point because I made the point. I said it about the Crystal Palace game. It was even more evident against the Spurs result afterwards, and even more so with the Arsenal game. It's not the fact that United lost, which upset me. It's the manner in which we did. Arsenal didn't even have to get out of first gear to win. They won at Cantor. Yes, they didn't create much, but in terms of having control of the game, there was only going to be one team who won that game. We created nothing. We literally, the only chance Manchester United had was when somebody crossed it in. It might have been a Greenwood, and it deflected off a defender, hit the keeper in the face, it hit Leno in the face, and hit the post then, and that was that. Like, it was so bad to watch. And they're the type of games you lose that gets managers to sack. And United have had 3 already. That's what's worrying. It's like the players have had enough, but then they will bounce back and give you a Newcastle or a Leipzig, for example. So that's how I'm looking at it. Like, he's been done out here. I've said this many a time. Like, all he's done out, he's just not good enough. It is. But we are going to get to some of the comments because you lot have a lot to say. I can see everybody, again, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. hit the share button, subscribe. If you're listening on DAB radio, like my brother Tox, who just tagged us on the gram, salute to my brother Tox each and every time. We will be getting him on the show soon. Don't worry about that, people. Here we go. Nathan says, why are Man United employing a man that has a CV of relegating teams and it was proven somewhere? Forgot the source, but winning the Norwegian First Division is the same as winning League One. Jaden says, how can you play 2 extra central midfielders for the Diamond and still get dominated in the midfield? It's an Ollie tactical problem. # Flaws FC. All right, we'll talk, man. Like Mo, I see you there. Akil says, if we don't count the Champions League, United have had 2 wins from 6 games, 7 points out of a possible 18. 15th in the table. Any other manager would have been sacked by now. Ollie gets away with murder, which he does. Stefan says, we should bring in Poch. At least we would have something to judge tactically. We always look clueless when we have to be proactive. It's 100% on the manager, especially when it happens. Just want to say to the YouTubers as well, obviously we get to as many comments as we can, but if you do drop a super chat, we'll stop whatever conversation we're having and we will discuss or answer the question that you've made for an extended period of time. That's all. See that Aiden Andrews has got it right. People like the stream. Facts. That's right. Here we go in. Jaden says, Man United are repeating the same mistakes we made for 30 years and all the time they thought it would never happen to them. 7 years without the league can turn into 30 real quick. That's facts. Yeah, Sicko Kiddo says, smash the like button. Appreciated. Aiden Andrews says, Paul Pogba, people still talking about his ability and not performances. And Nathan says, McTominay should be called McNaughty, dead player. Akil says, against Leipzig, Matic was playing in the pivot of the diamond. Fred was superb at the right of the diamond. He changed it and put a double pivot of McTominay, who offers nothing, and Fred couldn't do it. Yeah, before we move off this, which we will move off this. Yeah, man, it was just Stroll touched on it. You have to. What this one here? What do you mean?
Walk of success.
Yeah. I changed that. Yeah. I will change that. That's right. Yeah.
What were you saying, Flawless?
But yeah, what was I saying? That's because we were rushing around. We busy people. Make sure you go check out United Central. We're literally just on the Straight Jacket podcast. Literally just did a podcast. That's what it is. Where was I at? I was saying, in terms of Manchester United, we know they're not good enough. And you made the point, that was it, about the McTominay thing not working. We already knew this. You know what I'm saying? We knew this. McTominay wasn't working. Like, within 10 minutes, change it. Either you switch Fred and McTominay, which is an easy switch. Fred played so well against Leipzig, play him there, or you change the formation, be proactive, but he's not. But yeah, that's enough of Ollie. All right, Stroke, give us the next game while I change the episode title.
Super Jota to the rescue. That's the only thing I can say. Not good enough. Just weren't good enough.
Interesting.
Once again, Firmino, shell of himself. Listen, there's no words that can describe how much I actually love him as a player when he's on it. Look back to the 17-18 season. His numbers in the Champions League, 12 goals, 8 assists. They're phenomenal figures. Mm-hmm. Premier League, exactly the same thing. And is he burnt out? Is he just lost in that front three now? Because it's got to the point where it looks like at times when Mane's on, but he's got a man next to him, and Firmino's on, that Salah will go to Mane instead of Firmino, because you know what I mean?
Oh, you seeing that? So you reckon it's like that? You seen things like that?
No, it's like, I've seen it once or twice in a game, and then it's like, in my head, it wouldn't surprise me if that's what would be going through their head, because it's like, well, he's losing the ball anyway. It's like simple passes that Firmino would make with his eyes closed. You've seen it, the no-look passes.
Yeah.
And it slides through. There's none of that anymore. There's no clinical instinct. It's like, when you look at our press, the press starts with him. I don't see that much anymore. Like, he's not that intense anymore. And then you see Jota come on, who is it? And you see the difference straight away.
Okay.
And it's just like, it's how long can we... And listen, for Liverpool fans, right? Before you start going, but you're criticising Firmino. He's in our front three that won us the league. Listen, there's a reason why we wanted to go and get Timo Werner. Let me just make that for a fact. There's a reason why Klopp was in the market talking to Werner on the phone, constantly going, listen, give us a couple more weeks because I want you. There's a reason for that. Because we need a clinical striker. Firmino is not a clinical striker. And then you spot the difference when Firmino moves into the 10. Yeah. Salah goes to the up top. Jota goes to the left. Mane goes to the right. Look what happens. Jota scoring 3 out of 3 at home. And he had a goal. He had a goal disallowed a couple minutes before, and he still went and scored again. Yeah. Excellent bit of business.
But just on that bit, I said I said he's perfect for Liverpool. And I've said this countless times now. He is so perfect for Liverpool at this moment in time because he's able to do Firmino's job and the job that Firmino should be doing. So he's able to do
in terms of scoring goals you're talking about.
He can do the scoring goals, but he's also got that movement type of thing boxed off, which gets your Salahs and your Mane so much goals. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, for me, he's for me right now, Jota is actually vital.
Yeah, he is.
For Liverpool. He's played what, 3 or 4, maybe 5 games or whatever since he's came in. But there's no way Firmino should be on a first team sheet ahead of him. There's no way.
Oh, so it's like that now. Okay.
Yeah, and it should be like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, and listen, I'm not comparing Solskjaer to Klopp, but you see in the game, stuff wasn't working. Klopp then brings Shaqiri on, changes the system, puts Shaqiri into a number 10. We didn't have a number 10 at that point. Brings Jota on, brings Firmino off, and look what happens. And Shaqiri sets Jota up for the winner.
Yes.
Just another thing on Shaqiri.
Great ball by Shaqiri, by the way.
That's
a quality pass.
Yeah, I don't know what it is why he didn't play as much last season. Was
injured.
He injured?
Yeah, he was injured.
Injuries in that, but him coming back with Jota on that bench. It's almost like a new signing.
Yeah, exactly.
You've literally got the creativity what you was maybe lacking. Like last season, you had like Origi on the bench and that Curtis Jones kid, because I think he's very good as well. He was still coming up, not as much experience. And then Minamino, he was still new. So there wasn't a bona fide creative outlet on the bench for you. Shaqiri, this season, he looks sharper. Like sometimes players come back from injury, they can look off the pace. He looks like close to the form what probably got him his move. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Well, yeah, basically, for those that don't know, he was offered a move to Germany and Italy.
Yeah.
About a week before the end of the transfer window, and he said, "No, I want to stay and fight for my place." And he basically wants to force his way into the team. And you know what? The impact he had when he came on in the Champions League, when he came on Saturday night, that kind of a pass. It's the way he disguises it.
But you know what it is as well? I'll tell you one thing. You know what would have given him confidence to think I can maybe get back in this team is watching someone like Firmino.
Exactly.
He'll be watching a Firmino thinking, I can play in that front three then. Do you know what I'm saying? I can play in that front three if he's allowed to play it and he's doing that. Because for me, even if with how sharp he's looking right now, even if Jota wasn't purchased, I almost feel as if Shaqiri would be in there.
Okay.
Anyway, I honestly think Firmino is in one of them really bad runs of form. For me, it's a bit similar to Lingard, where
okay,
I don't know.
I like where you're going.
I'm not saying there's in terms of Lingard had personal issues what's making him not play good, but when the player's in a really bad run of form, sometimes you just need to take him out.
Exactly.
And you've got your Shaqiris, you've got your Jotas. You know what I mean?
And
so you might as well take him out. You might as well take Firmino out the firing line.
Yeah.
He gets himself back together. You ease him back in with some sub appearances, and then he'll get back to normal in a while because that's just how it works. But I think the continuously playing him is hurting him.
Yes, he needs to be taken out of firing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I understand that. And yeah, we're just there watching the goal again. What a pass and what a ball. Just want to say to people in the comments as well, we do not have a phone at Pi Radio. I've only just found this out when I've come in. So we will be looking into getting phone calls in. You get me? Live radio phoning. You know what I'm saying? We're doing more than just this YouTube thing. 1 year anniversary and we're still adding to the show. You know what I'm saying? Because I see a few people in the comments talking about, let me on. So it's like, you will get your chance to come on and have your say. Me, JV and Stroll are all going to sit down and decide exactly how we're going to work it. But yeah, go on.
No, I was going to say is there's... so two things I wanted to touch on. Jota's goal that was disallowed. I still don't understand what the foul's for.
It's the Mane tackle. Because Mane's flew in,
but
missed the ball,
and hit
the keeper. I said foul, and I wasn't even like I was.
No, because he didn't hit the keeper.
Look, one second.
It goes under his arm.
He hit the keeper. Look.
Watch it. Watch it from the angle. It goes under his arm.
Well, he goes under his arm, but the follow through, you still can't go into the keeper like
No. This is the point. That's not what they give it for.
What did they give it for?
For his follow through leg on Ogbonna.
Oh, so they didn't give it for the keeper. Let me watch this again. Because I said foul straight away on the keeper.
You're telling me from that angle you can see Mane's thingy?
Nah, I don't. I haven't
I don't know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't understand. I thought goalkeeper. That's
No.
why I said it straight.
No, that's what I mean. They
said
give it
goalkeeper.
for the foul on Ogbonna.
Yeah.
What foul on Ogbonna? The keeper one I completely understand.
Yeah.
Even though at the time I thought it went under him, it's a bit harsh. I can understand why that's given.
Yeah.
Because he's not won a ball. It's the foul on Ogbonna. What foul on Ogbonna? And don't even get me started on VAR again, man, because they've had a mess this weekend, and we're going to touch upon it in a minute. But as good, as bad as Firmino was in this game, Nat Phillips. Oh wow, this kid.
Go
on loan at Stuttgart for half a season, almost moved out to Swansea.
Yeah.
Because there was no defensive cover, we kept him just in case we needed him. Wasn't registered in the Champions League squad. He then finds out late that you're starting against West Ham, against Haller, who's a big physical striker. Yeah. He's not the 40 million striker that West Ham were expecting, but he's still a handful.
Isn't it? It's your first game.
And still for a kid...
He would have probably tried to...
target him.
Yeah. Naturally, innit?
To get man of the match says everything about this kid. What a performance. What a performance. In the air, dominant. And there's a reason why Haller came off. Because Nat Phillips was winning everything. And it's like, I don't know if you see it in the highlights, but they get a corner in the last minute. Ball's whipped in. Who's the first dad who clears it at the front post? Nat Phillips. Unbelievable performance from him. When we need defenders to step up and be counted, what a performance.
This is where I was going to go. So obviously for West Ham's goal, it's Trent's made the error in terms of who was in front of him that he didn't tell because the overlaps come along. Let me watch this like I can't watch. I forget I got this MNF stuff here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can reload this. I'm not sure the player who's in front, but you see the overlap and then he backs off. So it's like Trent should tell him, is it Curtis Jones? That was
it's Curtis Jones.
Curtis Jones. See that? There we go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Trent should tell Curtis Jones to press the man with the ball. I track the runner, but then obviously Curtis Jones drops off. Then Gomez heads it out, poor header. So I was going to ask you, kind of leads into the point in terms of, are you worried about the centre of defence? Obviously, no Van Dijk being in there, or are you looking at it like, to me, the league is yours to lose. That's what I think.
You know what? It's a poor mistake from Gomez.
Yeah.
He was exceptional.
Okay.
So, what I am worried about is the lack of depth. Because Nat Phillips isn't going to have these games week in, week out. He's still young, he's still developing, he's going to make mistakes. We're in a position where we can't afford for defenders to be making mistakes. Gomez made a mistake, and if it wasn't for a bit of brilliance from Jota, and obviously the penalty with Salah, which I'm going to come on to in a second, at times it was similar to the Sheffield United game, because you tweeted Liverpool. I just couldn't see us getting back into the game.
Let me give myself my credit. So it was 1-1. I don't know if it's 20 minutes left, and I tweeted out something happened in the game. I think West Ham might have missed the chance.
Yeah, they missed the chance.
Yes, and I said Liverpool are going to win this game, and I was so mad about it because I knew it was coming. Liverpool had what United had, where it's like, you know a goal is coming, and I knew it, and I said it, and then Stroll quote tweeted me, he said nah, and then I laughed, and then obviously Jota scored the first goal, he got disallowed. I was still thinking that they was going to score, and then they scored. Go on, JV.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Pochettino makes a comment on Sky Sports.
Yeah, I've just read
he's
this.
ready to be involved again.
If that's not a come and get me plea, that is a come and get me plea, I am here.
That is a very polite and non-disrespectful way to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer of saying, I want your job.
Yes. Definitely. Yes. Definitely. He has put him in. So yeah, back to the point. To me, the league is yours to lose still. So yeah, are you concerned about it? The central, like obviously Van Dijk not being there.
You know what? It's not even so much Van Dijk not being there, because we were bad defensively when Van Dijk was there. Don't get me wrong, you're going to lose. When you lose Van Dijk, who is the best defender in the world, you are going to miss it.
Yeah, of course you're going to miss him. Yes.
But
you're going to miss a man.
What I have seen since then is Fabinho step up until obviously his injury. Gomez has stepped up massively. But it's like, we've got City on Saturday or Sunday. That's going to be a test. And because then it's Matip will come straight back in.
Yeah.
We haven't been performing great. City haven't been performing great. We're still the two that you look at that will probably, people's eyes would say, will go on and win the league. This is where it matters now.
You know how sick it is, yeah? It's gone from last season to being a one-horse race to Liverpool losing Van Dijk, then Fabinho, then City being out of form as well. But then with what's happened to Liverpool, it's kind of brought it back to a 2-horse race. It is Liverpool's to lose, but it is almost a 2-horse race. And this coming match between City and Liverpool, it reminds me a little bit of that match. I think it was when Liverpool had City and they got one over him, and then they just never looked back. Do you get what I mean?
When we won 3-1 last season.
And I'm not saying this is what City will do, but it's that same type of opportunity, if you get where I'm coming from. The one who's looking, the stronger team is looking in a weak point. And it's, credit to Liverpool, their weak point is still them winning games. Do you know what I'm saying? Their weak point is just still them winning games. It's just not as emphatic as it was. But we all know what Pep's about. As much as he's been heavily criticised, he could pull out a plan for that game. And same way Klopp could have Liverpool playing like there was last season in that game.
This game means more to Pep than what it will for Klopp.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because Pep's definitely he's being questioned heavily. He was obviously already questioning him if you go back and check previous episodes, but he's being questioned heavily now. Like, you spent all this money, what are you doing? Type of thing. It's like, what are you doing?
It's one of them. I just got told off by my mum for looking at my phone too much.
hello to JV's mum as well.
Yeah.
Hello to JV's mum.
So
just want to say, Ahmed and everybody else, please keep the comments clean. This is not Sarcasm City TV. We're on radio.
Yes.
Live radio. DAB radio. Legal radio.
DAB.
We can't swear or say bad words. So yeah, please keep the comments clean. Someone called him Jota Top Shot, sweary Salah 2.0, better decision making. That is
Jota Top Shot,
that's
okay.
fire.
I like
Angelo
that
said that. Malcolm says Jota has shown flashes of this when he was at Wolves.
Certainly.
Here we going. VAR has messed up the season. Malcolm will get to that. Akil says Jota the signing of the season so far. Liverpool are going to struggle a lot defensively, says Malcolm. Nat Phillips done everything he was supposed to do. Big performance. Matip is a class defender, but he's a glass man shaking my head. Aiden Andrews. Both them comments. Stroll, how many points do you think you will finish on this season? That's a question from Malcolm.
It's like how long's a piece of string?
Yeah,
it's a difficult question to answer.
Difficult.
One thing I will say is, though, we're not going to see the season where it's going to take 90 to 100 points to win the league. Not with this amount of points being dropped early on, not with this amount of goals that are being conceded by everyone. So, yeah, it's a difficult question to answer.
No, it's definitely. Ahmed says, flawless JV, I tell you this every week. This guy gets to certain fans after winning one tough game and then loses the next one, he needs to go. Now, yeah, we know he needs to go. Like I just said before, the only thing consistent about Manchester United is the fact we're inconsistent, but it is what it is. Joe Gomez is overrated, man. He's Brisbane level, says Nathan. I think Salah can be detrimental to Liverpool. He's too greedy. Sell him and buy Son.
I don't agree with the selling thing, but he's definitely too greedy sometimes. But it's one of them.
You're finding a balance, because there's times where he's probably greedy and then he scores and you're like, that's why you get the amount of goals you do.
You get what I mean?
You have to have a slight greed.
If you're a top goal scorer, you know what I mean?
There's many a times where we've watched Ronaldo in the past and it's like, you should pass that, and then he shoots and he scores and you're like,
that's why he didn't pass.
Yeah. He's kind of like that.
He's vindicated from that, innit?
He's vindicated for you have to score if you're being greedy. Go on, Stroke. Next game.
City, Sheffield United.
Okay, let's go. I watched this game. Sheffield United were poor, but I don't know if that was down to City playing so well, because even though City didn't create a lot, they battered them. Like, I think I tweeted towards the end of the first half and I said they could take a beating here because City had all the ball. Sheffield United didn't really offer much attacking City's goal. City didn't create a lot, but they still had a lot of the ball. So it's like, a De Bruyne or Sterling or Mahrez is going to kick into gear and they're going to score 2 or 3. I thought it was going to be 3-4-0, but it only ended up 1-0. Go on, Jimmy.
Well, here's my thing. This is where I think City, like, as much as the league's weird this year, so I still believe City will be, I believe it will be a lot closer than it was last year, and they'll be in and around the mix towards the end. But I think not having a proper 9,
because they were playing, was it Torres they was playing?
Yeah,
Ferran Torres. It's going to hinder them at some point in the season. Like, don't get me wrong, he looks sharp, but you can see he's not a 9.
But that's one thing I was going to say. He was making runs in behind.
Yes,
and he was willing. He was a willing runner.
So he was a willing runner. He's opening up the channels. He's, you know what I mean. He's bringing in space for other people.
Yeah.
But they're not going to get. They're not going to get the goals what they are going to need to win a league by playing midfielders or, you know, wingers up front. You need. This game screamed for an Aguero.
Yeah, if Aguero plays in this, he scores.
It screamed for like a. I'll take it even a bit back for him.
Injured?
He's injured as well.
Okay, right.
It screamed for like a Dzeko type. You know when they used to play with Dzeko and they used to play one thing I'd say City have lost with Guardiola. What a lot of people don't realise. They've lost. They actually could attack you two ways previously. City.
Yeah.
Go on.
Previously, so they've still got that same type of Guardiola goal, where it's like rolled across the box and thingy play, but they've lost the almost target man play.
The ability to just go direct.
Yeah, they were very. Yeah, right. If you think about City at one point, they were very direct. When you had like your Dzeko, you have to think City played with Dzeko and Aguero up front.
Yes.
Tevez and Aguero. That's like when you think about that's very direct. It's almost two centre forwards, they're dovetailing off each other, one playing behind the other or interchanging. But even when they had Balotelli, they've not got that presence up front. Like someone who could chest the ball down.
And someone who can occupy
a defender.
Yeah, because that if people are real football people right now, you'd realise, career-wise, that's how Aguero has played most of his career. When he's at Atletico Madrid, he was always in a 2. Because they always play 4-4-2. He's always had someone behind him, or he's even been the one behind. He had Forlan, Torres. Do you know what I mean? There's many players who, even at one point, he used to have like Maxi Rodriguez behind him, and he would be doing all of... Do you get what I mean? Certain players need that type of play. Yeah? That's where City are lacking at the moment. They've not got too much... And we've said this of Pep before. They've not got too much of a plan B because the plan A has been so good previously. Yeah. But before that, they did. They could literally do that. I call it that David Silva, Nasri, Dzeko football, where it's like 3 players just interchange up front. And most of the time, it would be someone like Dzeko to either head the ball in or just pop the ball in the back of the net. Or, you know what I mean? They had Aguero doing that for a bit. Now it seems to be more of like a wonder pass from a De Bruyne or a Bernardo Silva, and it just sets someone through, and then you've got to finish. Or they get those. They still do it a bit where it's, you know, swung across to the back post and someone taps it in, but it's not the same. Do you get what I mean? City are now. Don't get me wrong. I've just seen it in the comments. Ferran Torres does look decent.
He does. Because I seen him. I'm like. Okay, I liked his movement.
Yeah, he does look decent.
He's busy and he's not always just into feet and coming short. He was trying to go long as well.
Yeah.
I like that.
Don't get me wrong. He could be another one of Pep's projects, you know, who he gets more out of, you know what I mean? Like, they're already good players, but he gets more out of him, i.e. Sterling. Do you get what I mean? This guy could turn around and be that person, but it's... Like, when I'm watching that game, I'm like, you're just screaming for just a centre forward.
Yes.
And that's one thing Pep don't like is his centre forwards. He doesn't get along with centre forwards, does he? But he needs... Like, the only centre forward who's worked for him was Lewandowski. That's the only one who he...
And Aguero has worked also with the amount of goals he scored.
Yeah, but in terms of... It's not boring no fruit, though. Do you understand? Aguero for don't get me wrong, they won the league back to back, but it's not like he's not done what he went there for. Like
in the Champions League.
Yes, like what I'm trying to say is Pep. Pep winning the league for City basically did nothing new. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a continuation, but like really and truly, someone like Pep with an Aguero, that should win you everything. Because of the style of play. Do you get where I'm coming from?
I get what you're saying.
The style of play.
More.
Yeah, the style of play, the players he had. If you tell me you had Aguero, and behind him you've got David Silva, and De Bruyne, Sane, and Sterling, and you didn't win everything. Do you get where I'm coming from?
That's a very, very, very valid point.
And every one of those players I said then, they were in top prime at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I mean?
Yep.
And you didn't accomplish all of your goals. Do you get what I'm saying? He would be, like, right now, he would be screaming for just one of those players to be in top form right now. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why I think City are lacking at the moment. It's the goal scoring. You don't really... When do you really see City? City have done quite a few 1-0s.
Have they beat anybody up this season? I'm thinking.
That's what I'm
like
saying.
4-5-0.
It's what, like,
Oh.
you just say
And that's something
1-0s.
you associate with them.
Yes.
And there was a time when Pep and they were just beating teams 5-6.
Do you remember? All right, then it was like United have never really been a team to do that. I remember Chelsea went through a mad phase
Yes.
of
With
just
Drogba. It was
Yeah.
like Ancelotti season, if I remember
yes,
correctly.
they were just battering, man. It was
Yes.
like 8-0, 7-0, 6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
6,
yeah.
and it's like wow. And then City picked that up. Boom, 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 boom. Liverpool had it a bit last season. Maybe not the 6s and that, but it was like 4s. You know what I'm saying? 4s. If we're doing one in the game, it's 4 goals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I think that is. It's ruthlessness. It's that title-winning ruthlessness. It's what gets you them titles. It's what gets you them trophies. Look at when we're talking about all the... If I say Real Madrid now, look at them a few years ago when they had Ronaldo. There was like 8-1 versus Eibar, 8-2 versus Granada. It's whoa. Like, I think there was one match and it was like 10 and the other team were moaning. The other team were like, all right, chill. You know what I'm saying? But that's what gets you there. It's the ruthlessness. And to get back to my point, this is what City are lacking.
Ruthlessness.
They're lacking ruthlessness.
It's like what the manager's lacking, and that's something you associate with Pep.
Yes.
Is complete ruthless. Like the way even ruthless in the transfer market. If
Yes.
someone would have said, at the back end of last season, City are going to go get Fernan Torres, Aki. Who else did he sign?
That's it.
Was it just those
Oh,
two?
no, and Diaz.
And Diaz. If someone would have said they're going to, you'd be like, Ake, Fernan Torres, Ruben Diaz you get, but it's like there's nothing more. There's no marquee, put a marker down. Like Liverpool signing Jota to me and Thiago, they're markers.
Yes.
None of those signings scream markers.
All right, I'll put it to you like this.
Go on.
Everyone knows famously how ruthless he was with Ibrahimovic.
And Joe Hart.
And Joe Hart. Yeah, Joe Hart. So
and
then
Henry.
that's
People forget about that one.
what?
Thierry Henry.
There you go. So even though the Joe Hart one's not too long ago, it's a goalkeeper. You know what I mean? You're not really gonna. It's not your first choice goalkeeper. You're not really gonna feel it. But if you look at those caliber of players, he's been ruthless with.
Mm-hmm.
And then even I'm sure he had something with Etu.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's had issues.
So
with a lot
look
of
at those 3 players. What's their position?
Strikers.
They're centre forwards.
Yeah.
Arguably, Henry can do a job, and you know what I mean, or Etu's done the same. But they're predominantly. If you said to them, "Where do you want to play tomorrow? The big match tomorrow. Where do you want to play?" They're all going to turn around and say centre forwards.
Yep.
And it's because he doesn't. As a coach, he's notorious with centre forwards. I don't know what it is. It's like even at Bayern. I know Bayern even now tend to only really have one centre forward, but under him, like if something happened to Lewandowski, who is there? You'd have Muller in there. You'd have so and so in there. He's never been someone to be big on centre forwards, but I think that is really going to.
D'Angelo here says those players JV listed are free-spirited individuals. Their attitude didn't attract Pep. It's a fair point.
Yeah, but you know, like
I think
sometimes
he's agreeing with you.
No,
saying
I
that.
know, and it's a very good point. But this is where I'm going to go say it back to Pep. It's like I'm going on like he's listening. I'm going to say
You never know.
these men are free spirited.
Listen, you know, I'm not saying to our show. I'm saying social media. Like, sorry, this is a complete next
Nah,
point.
I know they
when
listen.
Mbappe said Farmers League after Leon beat City, Farmers League is a social media term. You don't see that anywhere.
Predominantly UK.
Yes,
I'd
and that's
say that's
predominantly UK, and you're in France. The same way when Pep spoke about Fraudiola, that's not said on Sky or BT or BBC or
Yeah.
ITV or anywhere else. That's just these men pay attention to what's being said, not necessarily us, but I'm saying the bigger one.
Bigger
Definitely.
picture.
Definitely.
Nah, you're right.
Yeah, Saeed Aaron, definitely footballers have tuned. Troy Deeney said it to flex on United stand, but he was like, do you reckon players tune in? He's like, when they win, of course they tune in.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Look at Aubameyang and his affiliation with Troops and AFTV.
Yes.
That man tune in.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but yeah.
That man tuning.
100%. So
Well, yeah,
yeah,
go on,
shout
go on.
out. Yeah, man.
Shout
Shout
out
out.
to any professional footballers
Yeah.
you are listening. You are free
Yo,
to come on
shout
for
out.
Third Eye View.
Shout
Yeah,
out
always,
Rashford,
man.
yeah, my guy,
I'm just
yeah.
letting you know you're free no matter what
Yeah,
team,
man.
whoever
Say
you play
that,
for, former coach, manager, whatever. Come on, sit down. The seat's right there. Come
I
have a
see you,
conversation.
Ronaldinho. That's the Joe.
Oh, yeah, go on, continue.
Nah, but that's what I'm saying. They're just lacking that cutting edge. It's what wins you titles. You know what I mean? Like, all right then, like, people might ridicule, oh, Cavani's finished, this and that. Pep is screaming for someone like that right now.
Cavani, definitely.
That a centre forward, like, you know, like, I know he's even the age thing, but the way they were playing on Saturday screamed out for someone like that. Yeah, they need an experienced finisher. He's gonna, you know what he might have to do? He might have to bite the bullet. This is the whole point of what I'm saying. He might have to bite the bullet and go back on his ways. He might have to start getting in some bona fide centre forwards. Do you know what I mean? Like someone who's just going to stand in that 6-yard box, who's a predator, because that's the only way I can see City getting it back. Aguero's not going to come back. And Jesus, even though I could be wrong and he could do it, Jesus is not just going to become Aguero overnight.
Nah, because the stats show it.
That's part of it.
Like when you look at Jesus' stats, he's missed. Like you think Firmino's stats are bad. There's a reason why Firmino still starts over him over Brazil. His stats is like most one-on-ones misses Jesus, big chances misses Jesus for City. That's not good enough from Manchester City side. How many chances do you associate them with creating? My lord, you've got De Bruyne, Sterling, Mahrez. They will put it on a plate for you.
Yes. I think even if I was playing up there, I'd probably get 5 goals.
Check this.
Them and supply me and I'm no striker.
He's less clinical in front of goal than Rashford and Martial, and they get absolutely ridiculed for that. He is less clinical than them two. Less.
He's less clinical than Firmino.
Look how many goals. Let me put it to you like this. He's got a lot of goals for City. But look at that team.
Yeah, if you're a striker in that team and you are half decent, you will score a barrel load of goals.
Yo, I'm telling you now.
You're forgetting, obviously, the players you mentioned there. You're forgetting Bernardo Silva, David Silva, Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
You're talking David Silva. To me, the best number. I put him in when we did the Premier League and we did the years. We did, what was it, 99 to 09 and then 2010 to 2020. My 2010 to 20 side, I put David Silva in there. I think he's criminally underrated. And now he's gone from City. I can talk about him more. I think he's
and look, he's gone to Real Sociedad. Where is Real Sociedad? Top of La Liga.
But he could still do a job. That's why. Oh, lose that. But yeah, go on, JV. Back to your point about him being less clinical. Jesus.
Yeah, he's less clinical than Rashford and Martial. And this guy's Brazilian, fam. So, you know what I'm saying? Man, what I give it Rashford and that. You know what I'm saying? Man, what I give it Martial. Man's Brazilian, you know, fam. Yeah. Man's supposed to be the bit. Man's second name is Jesus, fam. His second name is. They say Jesus to take the limelight off it. Man's called Jesus, fam. You know what I'm saying? When's he coming back? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? This guy should be the business. Like, literally, in that team, what you're in. I'll put it to you like this. An average player, an average striker in that City team could get 10 to 15 goals. Simply, if his movement is on point.
Yes.
All right, I'll put it to you like this. Someone like a Danny Ings, who's a... I
took the words out of my mouth.
I know he's on the same wavelength.
He's a really underrated striker at this moment in time. He would feast in there.
Oh yeah, Danny Ings.
If he's getting 20 goals in Southampton, fam, you get me? We're getting the balls off Romeu and them man there. When he's getting the movement, what he would do for a De Bruyne.
Ooh, he would score a lot of goals.
A Jamie Vardy.
A Vardy. That was
Vardy.
Vardy,
definitely. My days.
You put Vardy in that team, he's going to score so many goals with his movement.
Like people talk about his age, but his age is no limits because he's so fit. Do you get what I mean? For me, they need to go out and get
a striker.
And I don't want someone who comes out of the box. I'm not bothered.
You want someone
who's
a nine.
But this is the point. Like Pep's not going to be there for 3-4 years. We know that. Why not just go and get a Vardy?
Yeah.
You could pick him up.
Get a Vardy. Go get. All right. If you really went to Leicester right now with 50, 60 mil, I'm like 50 mil.
That's true.
And
here's probably look at you for about 10 seconds ago. Yeah.
And here's a few players to go with it.
Yeah, because City definitely have the squad where Leicester could, Brendan Rodgers would look at it and be like, I'll take a couple players with some money.
And then you look at it and you're like, then the pundits, fans from not just City, from all around the Premier League go, he's going to score goals here.
Then Vardy gets his ratings, what I was saying last week.
Yeah. Vardy definitely gets his ratings, especially if he fires them to a title. He gets his ratings.
He would
because he would be getting fed by De Bruyne.
I don't even want to disagree with you, man. You meant to spot him with
Now, you know what it is?
That's a frightening thought,
actually. The way with City, how City are set up, if I was to say the top 10 strikers who I could think of in the world at the moment, maybe even top 20, most of them would be able to do a job because you have the resources behind you. You get what I'm saying? Like, literally, all you need to do is if you can finish in that team. Look how many chances someone like Sterling gets in there.
And how many misses? Exactly.
When we had Jan City on, and she said that they missed a lot of chances, but yet they scored 100 goals that season.
That's crazy,
How
bro.
you score 100 goals?
So how many chances?
And they missed like 2 or 3 chances a game, big chances. That time when we beat them, when Pogba scored twice and Smalling got the finish up.
The 3-2.
Yeah, they had like 3 chances down on goal, like from the penalty spot that were missed. Do you get what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but yeah, that's interesting. To see what you lot are saying in the comments. D'Angelo says, I agree, but City has a system that is very fluid for goals. They would be even more dangerous if they had an Aubameyang who fits their style more than a target man. Aubameyang would score a lot of goals.
Yeah, but my point is that I'm not saying they just need a target man. Yeah. They need the option.
Yes.
They can have an Aubameyang and the target man.
There's no plan B. If you look at City's greatest ever moment, it was when they beat QPR. And what happened as to the reason why they beat QPR, they put Dzeko on the pitch. Balotelli was already on the pitch. Both tall, and Aguero was there. And what was happening? They were lumping it to Dzeko. Dzeko was knocking it down. Dzeko got the equaliser from a corner. Dzeko then won the header, which then knocked it into the box. QPR cleared it. Clichy brought it back, rolled it into Aguero. Aguero rolls it into Balotelli. Because he's got hold-up play.
Yeah,
the target man.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Aguero then runs off him, and they score 2 target men.
Yeah, you don't
2 goals
without them.
There you go.
Without that goal,
Greatest
City aren't in the position they're in now.
City aren't safe without it.
Fair point. That's a fair point. Ahmed Talk says here, lads, Ashley Young is aware of Lukaku's Timberland boots. I remember him laughing with Poet and Vujabai on YouTube. Yeah, and that's just Ahmed adding into the point about football.
They watch this, yeah.
They watch it. City's perfect striker would be that Inter Milan striker Martinez. He's literally the younger version of Aguero.
I like this guy. I like D'Angelo. I like this guy. He knows what he's on about.
Yeah.
Martinez. Yeah. Next big thing.
Okay.
If not already.
How old is he?
About 22.
Nationality?
Argentinian. And what's it called? Real Madrid are looking at him.
Okay, so all right. Well, Inter Milan are in the Champions League, so we're gonna see him like
play Real Madrid this week tomorrow.
Woo! Let's go. He should be scoring bags of goals. He should be scoring bags full of goals in that City team. He's not a bargain bin Brazilian, but he's close enough to that level, considering the level.
He might be, you know what, Jaden? He's just above the bargain bin. All right, then I'll put it to you like this. No. He might. How old is he?
I'm not
Jesus. I'll have a look.
He might be, if he's all right. Then I'll put it to you like this. I'll put it to everyone like this right now, and I'll put it to you as well, Flawless. Because you don't like this, Donny.
Go on.
Richarlison, Gabriel Jesus.
You got a point. You do have a point still.
What's the difference between them two? All right, I'll put it to you like this.
You have a point.
Would you get a better outlay?
He's 23.
Would you get a better... He's got a few years then till it hits the bin. If he gets to 26, 27 and he's still like this, he's in there. Richarlison, in that team, does he score more goals? I'd say maybe.
Yeah, I think he might.
Definitely.
It's
a
up for
possibility.
debate.
Because I've not watched enough of Jesus to make a solid opinion. And when I ask City fans about him, the few I know, he always divides opinion. So that's why I'm unsure on him.
Yeah.
I'm unsure. It's a bit like the Declan Rice. I look at Declan Rice. It's like every time I see you, I'm like, okay, you don't know the best. A bit like Jesus, but I don't watch West Ham enough. And you divide opinion. Some people think you're brilliant. Some people say nah. So I'm like that with Jesus. Does Richarlison probably does get a similar output. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you get where I'm coming from?
Probably. That's probably perspective.
And a man is saying Richarlison's bargain bin.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You can't say Richarlison's bargain bin.
You got a point.
You know what I'm saying?
You got a point. I wouldn't argue, but I'm glad the bargain Brazilian's picking up. D'Angelo says, big up yourself, JV. Great minds think alike with the handshake. That's
it there?
Fact. You do? Yeah, D'Angelo, you do talk a lot of sense. You're new over here, so we appreciate it. Whether you, like I said, the year anniversary show of Pi Radio, we out here.
Oh, yeah. Shout out everyone listening. Shout out my mum, she's listening in. Shout out my son, Cam. Shout out Kiana. Shout out Tegan. Shout out Tino. Shout out Kyla. Everyone listening, all the family locked in. You get me?
Love that.
There's the shout out, people. What you been asking before. But yeah, keep watching. Everyone locked in. Thanks for all of yous in the comments as well.
We appreciate it.
He's making it easy.
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong, we can chat macro about football for days,
Yes.
but you man make it easier.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying?
Facts. And you lot help also with facts. And if you think, and you're not scared to disagree with us, I love it. Ahmed says Jesus is a favela. Dan James, kiss my teeth.
Nah, man said he's a Brazilian ghetto version of Dan James. That's, you know
Ahmed's
what?
always on Dan James.
Nah, you're on crud, you know.
Yes.
You're on crud. I'm a chill out, bro.
And then, yeah, just before we get to the next game as well, we did say we was bringing this into the show. So everyone in the YouTube comments, please let us know where you are watching from. Let us know where you're watching from, man. So we want city and country. Man. We don't just want the city. We just don't want the country. We want both. So let us know where you are watching from. All right, next game, Stro, that you want to go to?
I want to go to Southampton.
Okay.
And Aston Villa.
Oh, yeah, this high scoring game, isn't it?
So,
what's your thoughts on it, Stro? Kick it off.
I've said this about James Ward-Prowse. Technically, unbelievably gifted. You can tell that by the way he strikes the ball, by the way he passes the ball. 2 free kicks in the game. 2 unbelievable free kicks in the game. Back to back. Ridiculous. Have you seen the free kicks? Either of you?
Got caught because that girl who's on what's it called? She fire still. Side note. But yeah.
I forgot where he was, you know.
I had to be like, woo. Side note, innit? Yeah, you lot don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, go on, Stro. Sorry to cut you.
No, I'm saying, have you seen the free kicks?
Their flowers, innit? She could be watching, but alright, go on.
Have you seen the free kicks?
Nah, I'm literally about to watch it now, right now.
So
I seen one of them.
Yeah, so for those that obviously didn't see the game, Southampton went 4-0 up. Danny Ings goals as well.
That is a cracker of a free kick.
Yeah, but he does 2 of them.
Yeah. That is a cracker of a free kick.
So I think Bednarek scores the first.
What's happened there? Was that an own goal?
That was like a ricochet.
What's happened there?
Yeah, so Bednarek picks up the first one. It was gifted to Bednarek. I'm not
checking VAR. Which is
wait. Just wait. There's an incident in this game which needs looking at, which I'm going to come on to in a second, which is why I specifically picked this game next.
Right.
So, carry on.
Oh, yeah. So we'll see what's going on here. And what did this finish? Was it 4-2?
4-3.
4-3, sorry.
Come right back.
Okay. High-scoring game.
Yeah, very
goals.
high. And yeah, it was unbelievable.
7 goals in a Southampton Villa game.
Yeah, that is one of them games where you would not... If that, you know, like Sky Sports, Sunday, you'd be like, what's up next?
Yeah.
Villa, South... Oh, you know what? Yeah, turn the PlayStation on. You know what I'm saying?
So here's...
It's a great set piece. And a very good header as well.
Scores again.
It's a great set piece and a very good header.
You know what it is with this guy, yeah? I'm telling you.
What's
his name? How do you pronounce his name?
Bednarek.
Is that it?
Yeah, but look at this brother here. I've said for ages is
that's a great free kick.
Set pieces and that is one of the best in the country, but
it's just the rest.
It's like sometimes I see him take a set piece like that and I think, love to see this
right,
guy pass.
But flawless. Watch on YouTube. Watch this one.
His passing's not.
Look, similar position. Watch this one.
Yeah, this is the one I see.
Oh yeah, that's a good free. Where's the
keeper doesn't? He can't move. Beckham against Greece. That is exactly what it reminds me of. Yeah. The keeper can't move.
Why is it? Because I'm looking at the keeper's position in
there.
He's
whipped
it. Because if you look at it, if you go back and look at the position it's in.
Yeah, it is central, so it's a bit tough.
Yeah, no. So it's central, but the way the wall's set up is. Martinez thinks he's going to his left, so he takes a step to his left and he whips it into the other corner, and it's
like. The keeper. Why are you behind? You should not be. You should be over here. I'm not taking away from the free kick. It's a great free kick.
Because he expects it to go over the wall.
Yeah, so
he wraps it round.
His positioning should be the other side, and then if he dips it over the wall and puts it top bins like the first one,
what a free kick!
I'm not saying the free kick's bad. I'm very critical of goalkeepers. Like the whole point of a wall is the wall takes care of one side of the goal.
You take care of the other. Yeah.
If it goes your side, you save it. If it goes over the wall and goes top corner,
don't get me wrong. He's made a mistake there, but. So that's the third one, which is just an insane free kick. Yeah. But
great free
look at Danny Ings.
That's a great free kick. That is a great free kick.
That's what I mean. Someone like that, if you can do that, you should stand out
in a game.
You
should be doing more,
especially when he's a centre midfielder. You should be spraying them type of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you have a point.
Watch this.
You have a point. 1,000%. 1,000%. But yeah, 2 great free kicks.
Watch.
Yeah, typical Danny Ings. I'm not even shocked that he did that. Look at the celebration. I'm not even shocked that he did that.
I think it's going to be hard for them to keep hold of him again.
Well, now
Who do you reckon's going to go get him?
no one.
No. I think how
A
the
European team.
yeah, I think how the Premier League set up at the moment, he could go anywhere.
The reason I said no one because it looks like he's done his ACL again.
Ah, is it?
Was he?
That's someone lucky if he has, man. That's someone lucky if he has.
That's mad at that.
Yeah, that's someone lucky.
This, you know what? And I always say, I think I've made this point before, but there's so many careers like due to injury, we've just
Like
not
shot
seen
and
the
not
best
ruined.
of that.
Is that
player,
Watkins?
Yeah.
This is the moment, ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting for. As you're about to see.
What's this moment?
I do not understand what VAR were looking at with a certain incident.
That there.
No, not that.
Nah, that looked like a penalty still.
That's a stonewall penalty, right?
Yeah.
Is what's about to happen in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a stonewall penalty. 1000% that's a stonewall penalty. I mean, I'm just watching highlights of the Aston Villa Sheffield United game, people. Hey, Grealish, that's quality, that. Grealish is quality. I give him his flowers. Grealish is quality.
Oh, it's not showing it.
Go on, what's the incident? Anyway?
Basically, VAR for Grealish's goal,
Yeah.
as he cuts inside, it clearly takes a deflection off the defender, right?
Yeah.
Watkins was stood in an offside position. They spent about a minute looking at Watkins. He's not interfering with play.
He's not even in the phase, is he?
What on earth are you looking at him for?
Yeah.
And that goes back to our point. Do you know what that is? That's people who are doing it by the book and have no experience.
Yeah.
So they're going, oh wait, is he offside or is he interfering? But if you play the game, you go, well, no. So you know what? Even if they have their man in there who just want to do it by the book, they at least need to have one who can reference it for experience. Because someone will go there, then someone will go, yeah, he's not a part of that, mate. Bill, he's nowhere near that one, Bill. You know what I mean? You know, just like sometimes you need someone to just, you know, like not cut you off, but you know what I'm saying? Like just let you know, yeah, Bill, he's nothing to do with it. It's not how it goes, yeah. And then here's the thing. You see, when you do that to my man, he learns. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Mm-hmm. He learns. So the next time he sees it, he goes, oh, that's one of them Roger was on about. Do you get what I'm saying? No? You get what I'm saying? I don't laugh, you know. I didn't even try to make my laugh. I'm being real. Do you get what I'm saying? He would understand it. But because they don't even know the mistake.
Roger wouldn't be able to tell him like,
this is how sick it is. Because they don't even know that's a mistake.
Yeah.
The next time they do it, they don't. You get what I'm saying?
They're gonna do the same thing.
They're gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
They're not. Like, as much as when something's new,
Go on, Jay.
as much as this is. I'm starting to realize now why we have so many problems with VAR.
Right, go on.
What? Because of the names?
Because it's new.
Yeah.
Right. So all right then. Imagine this now. Imagine someone brings us now a new vehicle.
Right.
We don't know how to what. Oh, where does it? Does it go in the air? Does it go on the floor? Does it go in water? Right. Man don't know how to use it. So we have to learn on the job how to use it. Someone then comes along who's already used it, or the people who made it go, why is he using it like that? And I go, what you on about? I'm in control of it. It's mine. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the VAR people. Everyone's telling them they're doing it wrong. They're going, no, it's mine. I'm the VAR man. Where they should be going, oh, is it? Have I done this? All right, then show me what's this.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
And then that's why there's so many problems with it, because it's something that's new, but so there's going to be teething problems anyway.
Yes.
But the people who are in charge of it have no experience on the matter they're in charge of. Do you get what I'm saying? So it makes no sense.
What are you saying?
So that's why a lot of VAR decisions take too long, or they miss certain things because number one, it's new and they don't know what they're doing. It's still new, even though it's a year and something old. Do you get what I'm saying?
Next game I want to go to.
All right, go on.
Newcastle Everton.
All right, let's go there then. It's gonna go Spurs. All right, Newcastle.
Is anyone on tonight? Actually, by the way,
there is a game.
Yeah,
on,
it's
so
Leicester are winning 1-0
Ahmed, he's like,
against Leeds.
I'm watching Monday Night Football, and that's my manager.
So Vardy's just scored against Leeds
Neville
to make it 1-0.
Okay. Yeah, go on, Stro. Sorry.
So, what did I say when I had my yellow tie on and I made a certain prediction about a certain individual called Mr. T-Rex, aka Jordan Pickford,
Right.
the man who can't stand on his line, the man who's Mr. Erratic, the man who should not be England's number one? I made a certain point. there is a reason why Ancelotti is a top quality manager, because he identifies weakness. The biggest weakness he's got in his team at the moment is that goalkeeper. So what does he go and do? Gets his black book out, goes to Italy, signs Sweden's #1 goalkeeper, who, he's 33, but he's got the experience. That's what he needs to get him through to the rest of the season, just that bit of experience before he goes out and gets another keeper to replace Jordan Pickford. I said, give it 5 or 6 games and Pickford gets dropped.
You did say
can go back and you can watch it.
You called it?
What happened? How many games in are we?
It's like 4 or 5 games for him. And he's dropped too.
You could see it a mile off.
Yep.
Yeah, what game was it? Sorry to cut you off. What game was it? They got away with a decision at the end. Was it through a... What game was it
Liverpool.
the other day? Was it the Liverpool? Yeah.
It might have been, yeah.
And I said to his man, he turned around in Italian.
Yeah.
He was like, one of them Italian man start hold up the hand like that.
No, it was Liverpool. No,
He started cussing in Italian, fam.
Yeah.
And I said, from then, he's done.
He's done.
Because it was almost like he turned to someone and went, I told you. Do you get what I'm saying?
But here's the problem. You can't drop Pickford after the Liverpool game because of the incident that happened.
Right, okay.
Right, because he mash works on Van Dijk.
Because he mash works on that.
But as a manager, you can't drop him after that. Do you know what I mean? Because
that will completely crush you. Like, he needs
exactly.
all the support. That's a very
exactly.
That's a very good
and which
point.
is why Ancelotti is a top quality manager.
Yes, because you can't drop him after that. Everyone's already gunning for him. So it's kind of like, all right.
You let the dust settle.
Yes. And then you deal with the situation.
You just drop him one time.
Smart. It's smart.
It's unbelievable management.
Smart. He's very that's
because even his words could be to Pickford like, listen, you've had it rough the past couple of weeks, especially since what's happened with Van Dijk. I can understand if you're not mentally there. I need someone who's going to be mentally there, especially in your position, because if you make a mistake, it results in a goal. I'm going to take you out of the firing line for a few games. I'm going to let you compete in training. I just want you to get back to the Jordan Pickford.
Yep.
And then he doesn't have to play him again if he doesn't want to. Do you know what I mean?
True.
But then what he does see is he then sees Pickford raise his game in training to get back into the first team. Also then has to stay at a certain level to stay the #1 keeper. And then you've got 2 keepers competing. That's never a bad thing.
Competition for places.
It's great It's great man management.
It is.
And listen, Olsen pulled off some unbelievable saves in that game. Let's not get it mistaken.
Yeah, he did. He made some very good saves. I watched it. It was actually an entertaining game.
Yeah, it was.
It was an entertaining game. I didn't expect. Rodriguez was missing, or wasn't he, if I'm correct?
Yeah, he's got a problem with his...
Yeah, and you can tell they missed him. They missed him. Like, you can tell the difference. They definitely missed him. It's not like they have bad players in your Sigurdssons, but they missed him heavily.
You can tell Sigurdsson's not a Rodriguez though. Like with the greatest of respect, he's just. But one thing I will say is Calvert-Lewin didn't have a lot to feed on, and lo and behold, when you need him,
there you go,
and
man.
you put it in an area for him, he's lively.
Starting now, man. Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski, man. You know what I'm saying? Having it. I don't know Calvert-Dominic. Yeah, that's his name now. That's his name. Hear me? Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski. I say it's a penalty though. I'm going, It's definitely a penalty there, without question.
It's a dumb type of, like, I don't get why.
It's lazy from Gomez.
Yes.
One, it's poor communication from the defender behind him. Once Wilson goes, you need to shout straight away he's on your shoulder. It's poor anticipation from Gomez, who you expect better of because he's been at Barcelona. You expect a certain standard from him. But it's like defenders are just getting lazy with these like silly fouls. Like Thiago Silva and Rashford, I will stand by this. That is a penalty. You've kicked him. You've not won a ball. It's in the penalty. I don't care how soft you kick him. Once you've made contact with him, it's a foul. Salah, yesterday, it's a foul. Yeah, regardless of what anyone says.
It's a foul.
It's soft, and Salah shouldn't go down the way he goes down, but it's the only way you're going to get penalties these days. It's poor from him. It's still a foul. That one is a foul, and it's poor. Yeah. It's just awful defending.
You got a better chance. You got a better chance defending in the box if you just stay on your feet.
Exactly.
Yes. Literally stand your man up.
As soon as your leg either swings or leaves your other leg and it's just sticking out, you've.
I don't know why.
You're giving excuses.
Yes, you're giving the likes of Salah a reason to go down, and I said that. You know what I'm saying? I said that, and did you just see? It made me laugh actually because did they both get booked before Wilson took the penalty?
Yeah, because you should see what Mina did.
Yeah, so Mina was talking.
Yeah, I seen him beefing, but what happened?
So basically, because obviously they weren't happy about the VAR decision, Mina said something about him going down too easy, and Wilson's like that, and Mina's like, and I'm in his ear, like literally that's his ear. He's there, and he's talking stuff to him. and Wilson picks the ball up and just nudges it in his stomach.
Yeah.
Right in front of the referee, so the referee obviously books them both. Yeah. But then when Wilson scores the penalty, he turns around to Mina and just starts doing that.
Yeah, you know, you see...
I love that. I love that type of stuff.
That's the one way... You see, when I'm playing football, yeah? That's how you got to shut man up.
Yes.
If you can't shut man up on the pitch, you shouldn't be on the pitch. Check that one out.
Facts. You know, no word of a lie whatsoever. No word of a lie. And that's a great save as well. Point blank range there. That is a very
great reactions. Great reactions.
That goes in with thingy.
With Pickford, yeah.
That goes in the roof of the net off his hand.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Goes in with Pickford, definitely. Without question. This was a great goal as well. But Jerry Mina's not no slouch. And Ryan Fraser, you get me, went past him. And then the deflection was lucky enough to take it over Olsen as well.
Yeah, but this is the point. But look at that particular, and this is where smart transfer business. Who's setting it up?
Fraser.
Where did Fraser come from?
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Where did Callum Wilson come from?
Bournemouth.
So he knows to make them kind of runs when Fraser's in that position.
Yeah, valid point. Good goal.
It's great business.
Good goal. And it was Jamal
I said that. What's his name? Wilson is a good signing.
You did say that actually.
I'm
I was
telling
sure,
you.
but you did say that.
No,
He's a good signing. Like you have to understand, yeah.
Go on.
All right, then I put it to you like this.
Go on.
Wilson shined more at Bournemouth than Ake.
Yep, big time.
Ake got a £40 million move to the second in the league, and Wilson has ended up at someone who, like Newcastle, who hang around in the bottom half of the table. But if you go back to the point what I've just said previous, Wilson would be a good signing for City off the bench. You know, just to have, even if he's your third striker, just for these situations now, so you're not playing a 20-year-old winger, you know what I mean, up front, someone like that would get a play. But he's an unfashionable signing. Yeah. If this is, I'll tell you now, if this is mid-90s in the Prem, he's at a big team. Because not everyone can buy Brazilians yet, or not everyone can buy. Trust me, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The first,
you make a valid point.
Back in the day in the league, the first thing you did was you strengthened from your own league, and then if someone exceptional came about from a tournament or something, that's where you get your international players in.
So funny you should say that, because one of the best strike partnerships I've ever seen, you two will know this better than me, Cole and York. So where did Dwight York come from?
Aston Villa.
And where were Villa at that point? In a similar position to Bournemouth.
There you go.
That's a fair point.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's a fair point.
So it's like, that is a great point.
Yeah, all the big teams used to do it back in the day.
Yeah, because
all
you buy
of the biggest teams.
We went and got Heskey.
Yeah.
And then Heskey and Owen were the two up front for England.
Yeah.
And we had him at Liverpool. There's a reason for that.
Everyone, like, look at Ian Wright.
Oh,
valid point.
Do you get what I mean? Like, a lot of, that's just how it, United with Cantona.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like, a lot of, all right then, when we went and got, I know he's not like a legend for us, but like a Alan Smith, we seen Leeds get relegated. We went, yeah, come here. Do you get what I mean, though?
We did.
Real Ferdinand.
There you go. Do you get what I'm saying?
Wayne Rooney, Everton, come here.
Yeah,
you strengthened from your own. This is one thing.
Buying from within the Premier League, because players don't have to take time to adapt.
And this is one thing why. This is why England suffered so much, because even though they did it, it wasn't implemented properly within the league. We're the only league where predominantly you could pick a England squad, pluck one out of your mind right now, and up until probably Sancho, 2-man play abroad.
Exactly.
Everyone plays in England. Yeah. You go get the Brazil squad and tell me how many of their man play in Brazil.
Yeah, everyone plays everywhere.
You know what I mean? There might literally be a goalkeeper, or a backup centre back. Everyone's all over the world. Yeah. Germany, they'll have a lot of man in Germany, but they'll still have man abroad.
You still have your Sanis.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? They'll still have a high number of man abroad. We're the Spain. Do you know what I mean? So all right then, even when Spain's dominance came in, all of their players
were playing in Spain,
but they all literally played for the two biggest teams.
They all played. It was literally, but I think it was like Barcelona 9, and then Real Madrid was 2. I think it was Ramos and somebody else, and the rest was Barcelona.
I think Xavi Alonso was.
Yeah, Xavi Alonso, Torres, they were. But you know what I mean? Like, you had them, you had Fabregas.
Yeah,
it was at Arsenal.
Yeah,
at the time.
Apart from that, this is like everyone else was thinking. So then that.
But they had the experience of being abroad, and then coming back.
But then when you think about it, that goes against. That's an excellent exception to the rule, because look at the two teams. That's like when. All right, then that's like say when United and Arsenal were the two biggest teams. If the whole England squad was United and Arsenal and then like man from 2 or 3 of other teams, that would have made a lot more sense. That would have made England deadly. Do you get what I mean?
Yep.
And that's where what people don't understand, that's where other leagues thrive, because they go, their footballers go and get schooled in other leagues and then come back and then put it into work for the national team.
Makes sense.
Why do you think Fabregas is the player he was? He came to England and was playing at 16. Why do you think Piqué is the player he is at Barcelona? He even said that. He said, when I went over to England and these men are kicking me about and that. Do you know what I'm saying? And then when I got back to Spain, I was a man. Do you know what I'm saying? He said, I'm still
Ronaldo's
young.
one of them, actually. He's a prime example.
There you go.
Ronaldo is a prime example.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Going elsewhere.
People forget that certain players played here and what their schooling was and their tutelage. A lot of people come to the Prem, take the schooling and go and thrive off it elsewhere. Do you get what I'm saying?
And to go back even further, France 1998 World Cup finalist, yeah?
Yeah, go on.
Name me the 2 centre midfielders.
It was Vieira Petit, if I remember correct.
Where and Vieira Petit playing?
Arsenal.
Together.
Yeah.
There you go. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're World Cup winners, but they're the 2 World Cup winners from North London are not English. Do you get what I'm saying?
Make a valid point. Ahmed here says Wilson is a certainly good man. He's underrated. He's just not a sexy name. That's why he's not looked at.
Yeah, it's true. Do you know if he was like Wilsinho? You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying? Wilsoni. You know what I'm saying? Wilsoni. Man's Italian. Oh, yo, that Wilsoni up front. You know what I'm saying? No,
because it's just Wilson.
Wilson. It's not got a ring to it. You know what I'm saying?
He don't have a ring
and he's not like a extravagant player either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hard work.
Very industrial.
Movement, yes. Ings, same type of player. It's not. There's no fancy haircuts. There's no fancy boots. There's no.
What you see is what you
tricks
get.
and flicks. There's no. You know what I'm
number
saying?
Number 9 black boots.
Yeah, number 9 black boots. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Goal. You know what I'm saying? Touch that. Get it out my feet.
Yeah.
Bang. You know what I'm saying?
Shirt tucked in.
Yeah, shirt tucked in.
Lot.
You know what I'm saying?
The whole lot.
Get me, man. I've just got tattoos. That's the most extravagant. Then man, I go in. You know what I'm saying? All right, I got the tats. That's what it is, man.
But yeah, great goal by you know what I mean, Lewandowski though. This is quality. You know what I mean? That's the name I'm running.
It's the movement. It's the movement.
Yes.
Because he goes from the shoulder of one defender to the back of the other, just a diagonal run, and it's worked on. You can see it's worked on by his movement.
Look at that! Look at that crusty pass, fam. Go back to the pass.
Took a deflection in it. It was a Wobie.
Bro, look at his dead pass, fam.
Yeah, dead.
A man still managed to get on. You understand what I'm saying?
He turned the average ball into a great one.
This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because he took a deflection.
Leicester just scored again 2-0.
Even though it's deflected, yeah. All right, then it's deflected. You're in the zone. You're in the space.
He's anticipating it.
This was what I'm trying to say.
He's anticipating it.
Nah, it was dead from the drop. He kicked it wrong and everything. This is what I'm trying to say, fam. You see, when you're good, you make the most.
Yeah, of course.
You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
And that reverts back to certain managers. Maybe they're not good enough because they can't make the most of what they have.
Make the most of, yes, you're not always going to have the best of the very best.
I'll say this, and I'll say this again. Fergie won the league with man like Chicharito and Welbeck. Do you know what I'm saying? Kagawa.
You got the best out of the
Darren Fletcher.
Yeah.
But he had them playing like they were levels above themselves.
Facts.
Do you get what I'm saying? John O'Shea has won multiple Premier Leagues. You know what I'm saying?
Tom
Phil
Cleverley
Neville.
has won Premier Leagues.
Cleverly, yes.
Cleverly, bro. Tom, we have the new Paul Scholes Cleverly. Do you know what I mean? As he was at one point. You know what I mean?
Buying into that.
What was it? Pre-season in Iniesta, man used to call him or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, pre-season Perlo. That's what it was. Was that him? I'm sure that
that's
was
Pereira now, though.
Was that Pereira?
Yeah, that's Pereira pre-season.
Nah, Cleverly got it out. No, that was it. Cleverly was supposed to be the Scholes replacement. That's what it was. I remember that. You get what I'm saying?
That is wild.
You know what I'm saying?
That is wild. That is very, very, very
The
wild.
man's playing where now, fam? You know what's jokes?
Who Cleverly? Is that Watford?
He's at Watford, and who's playing in front of him? That Ghana. Who's just man sent a man on loan.
Yep.
And he's replaced you, fam. You know what I'm saying? But no disrespect to him, because I'm not out here to be disrespected, man. But
it's just an
it
observation.
shows, innit?
It's an observation that Fergie got the very best out of everyone. But moving on to this, obviously, Tottenham 2, Brighton 1. What I want to ask you, we'll start with you, Stro. Can Spurs mount a title challenge? If you think they can, explain why they can. If you think they can't, tell us why you think they can't.
I think they can, because it's 2020 and anything can happen. But the thing is, do I think Mourinho's past it at a certain level? Yes. But given you look at the Premier League, this season, the amount of teams that are conceding goals. Don't get me wrong, Tottenham are conceding goals, which they shouldn't be conceding, right? Mourinho will go away to a Liverpool. Mourinho will go away to a City. Will go away, as you've seen, to a Manchester United, to an Arsenal, and he'll set up in a way where they will be difficult to beat defensively. And then it's down to, have you got that moment of individual brilliance? We've seen it before. Look at their team now. Bale's got individual brilliance.
Very silly tackle.
Son's got individual brilliance. Kane's got individual brilliance. Lucas Moura, do you know what I mean?
Huh?
So it's like, I think they can. Do I think they will? No. One thing I will say about that challenge is, though, watch Harry Kane.
Yeah, he seems to come in very, very smart. Clever. It's intelligent.
Yeah, it's very intelligent.
Very intelligent.
Very intelligent.
Stupid tackle, though. Very silly.
Oh,
You don't need to do that. Don't need to do that. No, none whatsoever do you need to do that. Go on.
But the only thing that lets Tottenham down is it's the defence. You've got Eric Dyer in there.
I was about to say that.
You've got JV. Same question to you as well.
You've got a big Eric Dyer shaped hole in your defence, which is not going to help no one. He might get you through so far, but he's a problem. But I'll tell you one thing. Jose will be watching someone like Arteta, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be like, I can make that type of football look better.
Yeah,
Jose can play that football.
Yeah, Mourinho's mastered that.
So if I'll be honest with you, don't let him start parking the bus, fam. Because he's got the formation for it now. He's got the wing backs. Nah, trust me.
Does he have the centre backs in the defence to do it though?
Maybe not, but the fact that he will be able to bulk it out. If there's one man who'll be able to bulk it out, you know what I mean. If he realizes, there'll be a point in the season where Mourinho goes, you know what? Let me just stick Bale, Son, and Kane up there. Everyone else defend.
Because
it's an option.
And I'm telling you, he will make that look a lot better. He will play that properly. Do you get what I mean?
Yes, I get what you.
Because he will free roll them three.
I trust the Mourinho.
And what they've now got, which they didn't have last season, is, and Ndombele looks like he's starting to come into it a bit.
Yeah.
But there's a certain person next to him who they went out and spent £15 million on, who for me is one of the most underrated signings of the summer, Højbjerg. He makes that midfield tick. Because they were trying to play Harry Winks in that position, but he's not that kind of midfielder. Harry Winks is a more get on the ball and play a pass in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Højbjerg's a destroyer in there.
Yeah.
He just mops everything up. They need that for the forward 3 or 4 that they've got now.
Man, have to remember, like, there's a certain man who won't know. They'll just see Højbjerg at Southampton and be like, oh, this guy's dead. No, this guy's a Bayern Munich player, fam. That's where he's come from. Let's keep it all the way real. Højbjerg's come from Bayern Munich. Whether that's academy, whether that's... You see, when you get to them type of big clubs, yeah? And if you... Number one, if you brought up in their academy, you've got a different understanding of football. Yeah?
You've got to be able to play a certain type of football.
Yeah, you've got to be able to play a certain type to reach their first teams. A lot of man get sold off before it gets to first team.
They school you in
how
they want you to play.
Do you get what I mean? So, don't get me wrong. I'm not just saying this now because he's at Thingy. I to be honest, when Southampton got Højbjerg, I was quite surprised.
Same.
Shocked about it.
Because I was like, at that time, he wasn't someone who was just like in the reserves for Bayern. He would play like 20 games a season. He was young. He was coming through, but he was someone who was playing, come off the bench. You don't get your games in, like type of, kind of like a McTominay for us, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying and where you're going with it.
Do you get what I mean?
Squad player-esque.
Squad-esque player. So, but to be a squad player in a team like that, you're then suitable for most top teams around the world. Exactly. A squad player for a Barca probably walks into
90% of teams.
Do you get what I'm saying? A squad player for a Bayern, a squad player for a
PSG,
a Juventus. Do you get where I'm coming from? Yeah. So I'm not surprised because I always thought he was better than a Southampton. Do you get what I mean? And I think Southampton is a great springboard for players. We've seen this over the years now. Look, you've had your Bales, you know, like if you like your Manes, Tadic, Van Dijk. Do you get what I mean?
Southampton have had some good points.
If you just name them, if you name them players, what I've just said, then
say them
the
again.
transfer fee: Bale, Sane, Tadic, Van Dijk. I know there's plenty more.
Walcott.
You know what I mean? We could sit here all day Alderweireld.
Yeah, I didn't realise that they had so many come from that.
There's bare, man, you know. I could keep going. Wanyama. Schneiderlin. What was my man who was up front for him?
Gabbiadini,
the next Italian brother. They had that big one. And he was banging him in for it. Pele.
Yeah, Pele.
Oh, yeah, Pele.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. They've had over the...
Oh, wait a minute. Mane.
Yeah, I said Mane, that's what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying, bro? Look at these players who they've had over the past few years. And you can see a lot of them under Poch as well. There's full circle it.
Yeah, serious.
But this is where I'm trying to come from is a lot of those players at Southampton, they've come from a good stock, or Southampton have built them up, and you know what I'm saying? So for me, just to get back to the point, Højbjerg, or however you say it, he will be a good signing because he's got the perfect manager for it as well. He's got the perfect manager in Mourinho. Mm-hmm. Do you get what I mean? For what he does. Like, a lot of people say Mourinho, oh, he never made it pro, he never made this. You can clearly see that, I don't care what no one says, Mourinho was some sort of defensive player for him. Mourinho was a defensive midfielder. He screams to me like I could imagine Mourinho being like...
Yeah, definitely a defensive midfielder.
Like just a raw destroyer.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
without question.
He likes them type of players. Do you get what I mean? He likes them type of players. And that's why Højbjerg will be a big player for Tottenham, because they've lacked a proper destroyer for a while. They had Wanyama for a bit. I never understood why they got rid of Wanyama. I thought Wanyama...
Just too injury prone.
At that time, though, he was top of the pops. He was better... He still makes more sense than to play a Winks in there. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like,
definitely makes more sense than a Winks.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, they had Sissoko, but they've moved Sissoko kind of out to the right. He's not like... That's not his proper position. So Højbjerg is probably someone who will be at Tottenham for a long time until his legs go, or his form totally disappears, because they've not had that type of player for ages.
But one thing I do want to say is, when you look at them now, if you're a fullback, you've got Son, Mora, Bergwijn, Bale.
Ooh, options.
So just wait. You can start Son, Mora, 60 minutes, tire the fullbacks out, off you come. On come Bale and Bergwijn, who've got pace. They've all got pace. They're all tricky. They're all powerful. They can all shoot. They can go left. They can go right. That's a nightmare for defenders.
Spurs got options.
Spurs have got big options.
They got options
in the forward line, which is we proved it in the 13-14 season. Your defence doesn't have to be that great to challenge for a title.
You know what? That's an extremely valid point, because you don't consider, I think it was like 50, 60 goals something that season, something crazy like that.
And we went down.
Yeah, that's like that old school Kevin Keegan Newcastle model.
Team. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you come at me, we'll come at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Score 3, we'll score 4.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
We took it to the last game of the season.
That's a very valid point.
But you see me, you see how Tottenham are doing now, and this is one thing where I think Tottenham fans, please don't get over enthusiastic.
Because we just seen you get beat by Antwerp, by the way. But
but it's not even that as well. That is a part of it, because they're still Spursy. But man have to understand.
Might just jump out.
Boo! Jeez, blood.
You know what it is for me? Don't get it twisted. We see Mourinho do this at United.
Mm-hmm.
True.
We seen him do that. Remember that match when we beat Juventus on their own patch.
Yeah, 1-0, the Mar free kick you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nah, 2-1 it was. Remember when Ronaldo scored that volley?
Ronaldo scored that volley. Who did Pogba score?
Nah, I think it was Fellaini or someone like that.
Oh wait, was it a home game? Oh, it was away.
It was a midfielder, but I can't.
Yeah, it was a midfielder, someone like that. Because I remember it was a bit of an ugly goal. That's what I'm thinking, Fellaini.
Yeah, we're just wrong with Fellaini.
And then, and he's shushing up the crowd, and we've seen him do that. We've seen him when we beat City at Etihad 2-1. Pogba shutting everyone up. When it's good with Mourinho, it's good. It's good. Mm-hmm. But when it's bad and he starts picking holes in your team and he starts degrading players.
Look at Dele Alli.
And he starts telling players this and that, you're this, you're that, you're rah. That's when it takes a turn. So, yeah. In answer to the original question, can Spurs mount a title challenge? With the players what they have, it's something that is very possible. But on the flip side, with the manager which they have, it is also something that where they could get to that and he could just crumble it. He could just start Mourinho in. He could just start where he just, when he just becomes self-destructive.
Yes, and that's Mourinho for you.
And you have to look. He's done that at Chelsea.
Yeah, of course.
He's done that at Chelsea. Just understand that that's his beloved Chelsea.
Yep. This is what Mourinho does.
If he's done that at Chelsea, and he's done that at United, which is one of the biggest clubs. Side note, he had reason to do it at United. Maybe not to the extent that he did. Maybe more of that should have been vented towards the board and not players.
Yeah.
But he will self-destruct Mourinho.
That's what I've said. It's a comfortable plane ride while you're there, but when it comes down, it's going to come crashing down.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like if he has 50 or something game. After the 50th game, he turned madman or
it's like
something.
the Antwerp game, go attacking the team on Instagram. Yeah, it's funny from the outside looking in, but if I'm a Spurs fan, I'm fuming at that.
Are you though?
Yes.
No, because listen.
Go on.
If this is a Manchester United at Liverpool, the expectations through the roof. Yeah. Mourinho, they can lose to an Antwerp. Their fans will forget if they go and beat someone comfortable at the weekend. They're not talking about that now because Bale's just scored at home to Brighton 2-1.
Yeah.
There's levels.
I'm with you. So you know what? I get what he's saying.
There's levels, but I just don't. I'm always like,
what success to Tottenham?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why you can get away with it.
Even though you can get away with it, I'm just personally don't like it.
No, because you
with that indoors.
No, you don't like it because you've got a standard to which you've seen Manchester United reach, and anything below that standard you don't like. You can't then judge Spurs to a Manchester United standard because Spurs aren't a Manchester United standard.
I get what you're saying.
Spurs are an average Premier League team and have been an average Premier League team until Poch.
Yeah.
And then people started to take notice because think about it, you've heard Fergie was Tottenham.
Yeah.
No one looked at him like that.
No one looked at them. Yeah.
And now they're in a position where they're in a rebuilding process, which they are. And yes, they've got Kane. Yes, they've now got Bale. Yes, they've got Son. They've got an unbelievable front line.
Yeah.
No one's expecting him to win anything, though. There's no pressure on him. He can lose to an Antwerp. He can lose to a West Ham. He can drop points to a West Ham. That doesn't matter in the bigger picture to Tottenham. The bigger picture to Tottenham is they need to win a trophy. Doesn't matter what kind of trophy. They could win the Charity Shield. That'd be golden for them.
I just don't personally like it. You get what I'm saying?
I don't, but that's the problem is to Tottenham fans, they take that all day.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just me.
Shout out Tottenham fans.
You say it. Shout out. Yeah. But yeah, let's move on to this. Impressive victory for Chelsea. So Burnley 0, Chelsea 3. JB, what was your thoughts on that? On this game?
Oh, see this game, yeah?
That's good goalkeeping there, the way he's come flying out. Watch this, I was like, yeah. At first that was critical, but then I was like, the goalkeeper. But then if your touch is better, maybe, but
you see,
good start position from goalkeeper.
I don't know, like if this is Burnley a few years ago, it sticks one on the keeper there. Do you get where I'm coming from now? I think Burnley
didn't the end of the road.
Didn't do what it said on the tin. Burnley didn't. If Burnley that game, it's a different game for Chelsea. You get what I'm saying?
They're being taken over, aren't they?
I've heard this. Go on.
200 million, an Egyptian, or 2 Egyptian businessmen, £200 million for Burnley. Which I'm let me just 200 million for Burnley.
That's a lot, fam.
200 million.
Weren't that what? How much
for Burnley?
For City?
Just 200 million.
What that man paid for City for?
But if this guy's rich, that's nothing to them. I'm presuming he is rich.
Yeah, but it's not about if he's rich.
It should be like 50 mil, bro.
200 million for Burnley.
What's the squad worth? Even if he sold all that squad right now,
who's brokering that deal?
Whoever is excellent businessman. Who's shotting? Whoever's the seller in that one, yeah. Come shout me. I need to learn business from you, fam. You get what I'm saying?
200 million.
200
is there any more information on the party that's supposed to be taking them over?
I just know that the Egyptian. I know that it's in the final stages. What it will mean is there's going to be a lot of investment into Burnley's squad. I do know
we don't see Burnley change then if that happens.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna lie though. I think
is it the end of the road for this Burnley team?
Well, no. This is what I'm trying to say. Unless you are just gonna go and buy some Italian Burnley type man and some, French Burnley type man and some German Burnley type man. I don't see how it works. You can't now go buy Burnley and say, right, 4-3-3. You can't do that, fam.
When you've got man like Barnes and Wood.
It's not working. Yeah.
That's why I can see them doing a complete overhaul.
This isn't me being... I'm trying to think how I can word this without people think I'm throwing salt. We've seen this story already with a certain Manchester team.
Right.
who were at a stadium
Yeah.
that was past it, that had great memories but wasn't an elite Premier League stadium, that didn't have elite Premier League memories, didn't have the history, didn't have the players, didn't have the personnel, and now look at him. They are a powerhouse in the Premier League.
But they didn't gain their Premier League status by playing a typical type of football. City takeover didn't have a type of play where it's City-ish. Burnley, everyone knows when I say Burnley what's coming.
You know what's gonna happen.
The style of play is what's made Burnley. The reason that was so successful with City with the takeover is because you could disassemble that team and it didn't affect anything because there was nothing to affect, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying.
Because, and one of my best mates is a Burnley fan.
Yeah.
Certain type of manager that they get,
Right.
because of the lack of investment, they have to set up in a certain way to make themselves difficult to beat.
True.
Which is now it's going to be very interesting when they get this takeover because they're going to have money. What do you do with a manager? Does he fit your philosophy? Does he fit your ambitious contenders for top 10? If it's done right.
You never know. He could have some German Burnley type man who he's looking at, but he's just not got the peas.
I think what they'll do is do the takeover, give Sean Dyche a chance, and then once you've given him a chance, if he fails, then you move him on. If he's successful, and I think it depends on how much input they have. Do they come in and say, right, you are signing this player, and this player, this is the style we're going to. If you don't want to fit this style, the door's there. Or do they give him a chance to say, okay, what do you want to do? Are they respectful to him or not?
Yes,
But-
that's true.
Very true, but then you look at people that are out of jobs, big money on the table.
Yeah.
They could attract big managers at this point. I'm not saying they will, but they could go and get a good quality manager, a good proven Premier League manager. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they could.
So I'm not saying they're going to win the Champions League. I'm not saying they're going to win the league or anything like that. What I'm saying is, though, this will make it's fascinating because I want to see what kind of direction the club goes in. I want to see how they handle Sean Dyche in that situation. Because if you look at Burnley over the past couple of seasons, he's done enough. Like Benitez, when he was at Newcastle, he did enough to keep them to stay up because he didn't have the funds to go out and blow teams out of the water. Do you know what I mean? So he had to set up in a pragmatic style. It's exactly the same with Burnley. Now they've got money and they can go and get players. Now it's where it gets interesting. Similar to Lampard. Now you judge him on the buys that he makes. Now Sean Dyche is in that position.
It's a valid point. Be interesting. Very, very, very interesting. A nice segment on Burnley. But yeah, we'll continue to get onto the game. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what does happen and how they treat Sean Dyche if this takeover does indeed happen. You reckon Lampard has found a formula yet? Or do you reckon it was just one of them good games and we're going to find out what it is?
Absolutely not.
Just got to ask the question. I have to ask the question. After it is what it is.
If Lampard has found a formula,
Go on.
Werner would be firing on all cylinders.
If Lampard's found a formula, Werner won't be playing on the left wing.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Just want to say,
I can't-
even though it's a good finish by Ziyech, that's a keeper mistake there.
Yeah, that's
For the first
horrible.
goal.
You know,
I
like,
watched that because at first I thought when I seen it in the flash, I thought, yeah, great
Great goal, that's
great
what I
goal.
thought.
And then when you watch it back, you're like, he's gone your near side, and you can tell the way he's from just completely wrong footed. He's expecting it far post when Tammy Abraham's laid that off there.
Yeah, look, because you can see he takes a step to the right and then he has to try and adjust himself. But at that point, you can't get the spring off your right foot.
Facts. Nah, that's facts. That's facts. It's good to see Ziyech play as well, actually, because obviously you heard a lot about hype about him, so you want to see him in the Premier League.
He is a phenomenal talent.
Yeah, I keep hearing this is what I'm saying, so it's good to see, and he did look good against Burnley. Obviously, we'll face tougher tests, but it was still good to see.
Yeah, but so what was Ziyech's price tag? 36 million.
Ooh, that's a steal.
Havertz 80 million, and Ziyech has made more of an impact. Why is that?
Better player, you reckon?
No, because he's more suited to the Premier League.
Pressure. No, I think it's pressure.
You reckon it's a pressure thing?
I think price tag pressure.
Yeah,
I think if
that-
Ziyech comes in with a
With a
80
9
mil fee or whatever it was, 72 mil, I think that makes it harder for him. Do you know what I mean? But
Good finish there as well.
Yeah, it's a very good finish.
I honestly think
very good finish. Tidy.
I think Chelsea Chelsea really and truly, I've said this, I keep saying this, I've not seen anything yet from Chelsea which makes me like, ooh. Do you get what I'm saying?
There's nothing that's made you go.
With the amount of money they've spent, I'm not seeing like a Chelsea display yet that's like,
that.
They mean business. Do you get where I'm coming from? It's still like, and I don't know if it is. It's because of the money they've spent. I'm expecting to be blown away.
Fair point.
I'm expecting 04, 05 Chelsea when it's like, you see the signings, and I'm like, what are they going to do?
Like a machine.
Yeah.
I get your point.
I don't think they've got the manager. You know what? That's the point. They've not got the manager for it. They've not got a manager to run like a well-oiled machine yet, because that's due to experience.
Exactly, and this is the point I've made for the part, or we've made, is you look at Pep. The past 2 seasons when he won it, they were a machine.
Yeah,
you knew you were coming up against a team, and they'd score similar types of goals, and they beat teams in a similar type of way. Us last season, a machine, like with 63 games unbeaten at home in the league. That's a joke. Like that's because we just grind it out. You look at Lampard. I mean, look at you under Fergie. You knew. Everyone knew you were going to get a 94th minute winner at some point.
Yeah, it was written like, they're going to score late.
You know, like Fergie would do that, and mentally that would break half of the other team.
Yeah.
Because you were a machine.
Yeah. You like Liverpool
you
have
knew.
that now. That's why I thought you was going to this weekend. I'm like, Liverpool are going to score here.
But
have that type of thing.
But that's down to the management.
Yeah.
Down to the management to keep them focused mentally, to make sure they're fit enough, but to have certain styles in attacking plays where you can grind teams down and then you can capitalise. Lampard's not got that.
Just a quick side note. I honestly think that more and more I watch Liverpool, they kind of remind me of a Fergie team. You know, I think he's modelled on Fergie, and they might have a 3-man workman type midfield, but ours was like more of a 2-man. You know what I mean? It wasn't as workman type.
Oh.
It was I'd say there was more quality, but it's the same type of. If you look at like Trent's like their Beckham, Robertson's like their Giggs. You know what I'm saying? Salah and Mane are like the Cole and you know what I mean?
Yes, you can see the similarities.
It's very similar. Like even the way they just leave the two. That was us back in there. We just leave the two centre backs in it, right? You man deal with this. That's what they do with Van Dijk and whoever's next to Van Dijk. Yeah, you man deal with this. You get what I'm saying? And I've fought this for a while now, you know. And I think he's modelled it on it. Maybe intentionally or unintentionally. That might just be a winning formula, and it's something that he's realised as well. But I think it's very similar.
From a Liverpool point of view, let me just explain something. What did you have with Fergie? So everything at that club was how he wanted it.
Yes.
All the way down to the youth. You play in a certain way, because if at any point you need to step in to the first team, it's not going to be a big shock because you play that way all the way through youth level. What did Klopp do the second he came in? Everyone plays this way. Because if I need to call on a Nat Phillips, if I need to call on a Trent when he first made his appearance, if I need to call on a Curtis Jones, if I need to call on whoever, they know what to expect because we play that certain way all the way through the team. Who's Klopp's very, and everyone gave him a bit of stick for this, but he misunderstood it. Who's Klopp's one of Klopp's closest friends in football? Who did he ring when Liverpool won the league? Fergie. Who did Fergie want at Manchester United when he stepped away? There's a reason Klopp went and spoke to Manchester United.
Yeah,
they wanted Klopp. It wasn't anything down to you. It's just he didn't like the project. He didn't like the people and the certain things that were going on. He then came to Liverpool. Everything made sense. The city, everything. There's a reason for that, though. Klopp looked at Fergie and looked at what he achieved and thought, I could do something similar to Liverpool here. They need an identity.
Clock the play.
That's a you both make very, very, very good points on it when you made the similarities and things of that nature. Definitely. Without question. So just run through some of the results. Obviously, Youth Club can chime in when you feel free. Wolves 2-0 at home.
Yeah, 1 second.
Palace.
Let me just talk on Wolves
Go
rapid.
on.
Podence, right? This is Wolves. Yeah, is one thing where I don't want to hear anyone ever say, "Oh, you can't replace this player, you can't replace that player," blah blah blah.
What?
I watched Podence for about half an hour. I was sat there and I went, Jota's on fire. Bro, that's not even Jota.
Yeah.
Yo, I swear, bro. And I thought, how have you bought a carbon copy replacement had him at the club while the guy you want him to replace is still there, so we could learn off him. Yeah. And then when you've got your offer, it's like, all right, yeah, take him. Excellent business. That's excellent business in getting up. Because when they got him, I actually thought he's too similar to him. Where's he going to play? He knew.
He knew Jota might be on his way out.
And so that for me, their transfer business is easily some of the best. Like going, even that new wing back, man, just smashes one in on his debut, left foot. Come on, man, you got to give Wolves some credit. I honestly think with a bit more investment, because just look at it, they've got Semedo now. That's like
that's unbelievable.
That's a very good strike.
That's what I'm saying on your debut.
Yeah. That's a very good strike. That's a very good strike.
Like my man just crossed it in. Bro, I thought it was Jota, bro. I was watching the match for about half an hour, and I'm like,
he's very Jota-esque.
I'm like, yo, Jota's, and I'm like, that's not Jota, bro.
Yeah.
But
go on, Strom.
So, from a Liverpool point of view, we did the Thiago deal. A day later, Jota comes out of nowhere. That just doesn't come out of nowhere. No. That's been in the works for a while.
Yeah. So that's probably why they've got the replacement.
So when you make the point that Jota's there, Podence can then learn from him, because when Jota goes, he then can step him into the thingy. Wolves knew that this was coming at some point. Yeah. We don't just agree £43 million out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of the blue.
That's in the works. Yeah. So that's and to touch on your point, it's unbelievable business from them.
That's a Jota goal. And then, see, this is my point on what I'm trying to get at against managers, teams, whatever. When you get rid of one player, beg you don't tell me you can't find another player who plays like him.
Flawless. Rewind that goal a sec.
This one, no? Okay.
Right. Do me a favour.
Go on.
Type in Wolves against Tottenham 2019. Watch Jota do the exact same goal away.
It's a Jota goal.
I promise you.
It's a Jota. I swear down, yo. What did you say? Like it's
Wolves against Spurs 2019.
All right.
Tottenham are at home.
That's proper scouting. So you know what that is? That's scouting where I need a player who's gonna fit my system, not how he plays. I need a player that's gonna come in this system and play a certain way. I need someone like Jota who can play off my striker, who can create, who can be free.
Yeah, where do you turn it round? 3-2.
Yeah.
And that is my man. And then, so that just shows to you, we've been trying to get United have been trying to get a right midfielder for how many years?
Yes.
You're not going to find someone like Ronaldo. No, I know you're not. But you may be able to find someone who can do what he does.
Yes, of course.
Maybe to not that level. Or we've been looking for we've not had a Roy Keane for years. It's getting to the point now, my man is talking, we've not had a Carrick. It's like, what do you mean? How can you not find a midfielder who does that?
Yes.
Do you get what I mean?
But that goes into scouting systems and having a system of play.
That goes to how everything's run.
And how you fit in. Like with Nuno at Wolves, you play that way.
All right then, I'll tell you this. You get rid of Matt Doherty.
Yeah.
You get rid of Matt Doherty, yeah?
Flawless.
And you get in Semedo.
Fast forward it to when it's 2-1.
Do you get what I'm saying? You get rid of Matt Doherty and you bring in Semedo. You tell me how that even...
makes sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
So the Podence goal, it starts ball into Jimenez. Yeah. Jimenez plays the ball out right, and then it's crossed in, and then Podence is at the back post, right? Look at this goal. If this is the moment, ball into Jimenez, down the right, there's Jota in the middle.
Do you get what I'm saying? That's something worked on.
That's worked on, like, yo, you be in this position, in this area, yeah.
Even how he finished that.
This was last year.
It's a guy, it is.
And then you go back and watch the Podence goal, it's moved out to the right, ball's put in the box. It might not be the same type of cross, but the attacking play, the movement of the wide players.
Do you get what I'm saying? Even the keepers dive.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to say. This is where systems come into play.
Yes.
This is where tactics, that's tactics.
Scouting.
Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
Having a manager with a plan and a clear
identity
and philosophy. Like, you know Nuno, like, you know, I need this type of player. You already know what you need from his wing backs or his striker or his centre backs. I'm saying he has a clear way of playing. So yeah.
That Dendoncker, my man was played against us. That Dendoncker played against us in the thing, in what you call it, in the Europa League when we played Anderlecht a few seasons back. You know who was his partner in centre midfield that day?
Who was it?
Yuri Tielemans? How are they now both in the Premier League and looking like players? And we play against them and we can't see that as for scouts.
Listen.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Listen, do you know what we've got now with this screen? Friday night football.
Yo,
you are tuned into Friday night football. Check that one out.
Football.
We can break down stuff.
You get me?
Friday night football.
Friday night football.
Friday night. We're going to have to make something work with that. Make sure we keep that idea because we definitely Friday night football. That could definitely.
Listen, I've got tactics boards. I will bring tactics boards in.
Friday night football, yeah? Friday night football, bro. You man think it's a joke?
I think we're on the same wavelength.
Soon come. Friday night football. Soon come, Ruben.
Definitely. Other results we haven't mentioned. Fulham beat West Brom 2-0. I think both those teams will get relegated anyway.
Yeah, they're both gone.
And Leeds are currently 2-0 down still to Leicester. So if you look at the league, obviously there's only 7 games in, some teams 6. Liverpool, Leicester, Spurs and Everton are your top 4. Southampton, Wolves, Chelsea finished the rest of the top 7. United 15th. Burnley bottom of the league on 1 point. Well, joint with Sheffield United, and then you have West Brom and Fulham just above that. Then Brighton, then
Sheffield United could be in trouble this season.
They could be in trouble. Yeah.
But is it second season? Is it second season as well?
Season. When you go when you play 7 games, 0 goals. You've only scored 3 goals?
Yeah, there's a reason why, as much as I love the kid, they went out and spent 25 million on Brewster, who's never played a Premier League minute for us. That's not good.
That's not good. But yes, people, we really do. These 2 hours fly by. We really do hope that you enjoyed the show. Friday night football may become a thing. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you hit that. So whether you're watching live right now, you're watching this back, hit the like button, share it across all your socials. Please hit the like button and also subscribe to the Pi Radio YouTube and hit the notification bell so then you'll see when we go live. We go live here every Monday, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. discussing everything Premier League. If you're listening via DAB, like my brother Tox and many others, please also make sure you get me. Well, I just say we appreciate you tuning in and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. This has been the 1 year anniversary.
1 year.
Chase.
Yeah, we've been here a year. And here's to another year. Here's to the second year. Hopefully we have a better second year than
decade, fam.
Let's go.
More ex-footballers, more ex-Premier League footballers.
Yes.
More legends.
Yes,
more YouTube personalities.
Facts. We're going to bring more footballers on. But yeah, man, we really appreciate all the support. And if you're watching on YouTube, underneath the video as well,
please like and share.
Please like and share. The From a Third Eye View socials are underneath there as well. So you can follow there also. But nah, man, we really, really appreciate it. It's been Stro, JV, and myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. This has been From a Third Eye View on Pi Radio. Thank you very much for tuning in.